BG, Joel's just saying you got to be ready for the postseason. For Brandon Graham, it's about getting in the year of the young guys and getting them charged up. And Brandon's with us every single Tuesday at this time in studio, fielding your phone calls for about a half an hour. Brandon brought to us by Primo Hoagies. It's playoff time. Playoff time for the Birds. Make your playoff watch party a Primo party. Primo order online at PrimoHoagies.com. That's PrimoHoagies.com. It's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo. It's Brandon Graham. Good morning, BJ.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, bud?
Man, you know what? I'm feeling good. Had a nice little Christmas break, New Year, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what's this week, the start of it.
This is a thing, man. I mean, you know the deal. It ratchets it up. Can you put into words how much it ratchets it up?
I think it's just everything's on the line now. That's what get everything to go up. But it's our game. We got to go out there and just play our game. We got to work like we normally work, prepare the way we prepare, and don't let this be bigger than what it need to be. I'm
assuming that's a big part of the message that you give to the guys. Do you have individual messages to them as well? One to Sweat, one to Jalen Carter, one to Jordan Davis. How much do you craft what you need to say individually to the guys for the task at hand?
Well, one thing I can say to everybody is don't go reaching for plays that's not your play because of the moment. Because the moment can make you want to go out and make plays and be the guy, be the reason. It's like let the plays come to you. And that's what we've normally been doing. That's what get us wins and not having missed assignments. Because sometimes the moment, as you can say, I heard y'all talk about Darnold, and that moment was kind of big. He never really set his feet. I mean, he didn't look as comfortable as it, but that moment does that. It brings that moment out of you. And you just want the guys to just know we got your back and you're going to make mistakes. But as any other game, just because it's the big game right here and everything's on the line, don't flush it. You got to go to the next play, and we got to keep each other together.
What's the temperature? So we kind of haven't seen the team for 2 weeks, because the starters didn't play. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. What's the temperature of the team right now?
Oh, everybody's feeling good, refreshed. Can't wait to go in tomorrow to see the start of the week as we prepare for Green Bay. And yeah, man, I feel like the guys right now just enjoyed that week. Now that they knew they wasn't going for the record. Now they're getting their focus on Green Bay.
How inserted can you stay in the daily schedule, Brandon, with the surgery and the rehab? I know the rehab has to be hours and hours every day. Mm-hmm. How hard is that to stay up with? And then with everything else, are you able to get into the meetings and be with the guys? How do you coordinate all that?
I kept everything the same. I go on the meetings Wednesdays, learn exactly what the game plan is so I can talk about stuff on the sideline with them during the game. Make sure great.
I did that too when I was on IR.
It felt good. It felt good being able to help the guys and serve them and say, hey, remember what Coach said. Remember, watch out for this, watch out for that. Little tips that I normally do when I'm in the game and we talking in the game, but now I'm just on the sideline.
Makes such a difference. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the guys appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
That's hard, though. I mean, with everything else that you do as an injured guy, it really is a lot of time. I mean, you're in those meetings, in the rehab. I mean, you're probably getting there a couple hours before everyone else. Staying a couple hours after everyone else.
Yeah.
BG, last time you were with us, you indicated, I don't know the exact words, but basically, this was pre-Christmas, that the door was slightly open to the possibility of you playing in the Super Bowl. Couple weeks later, couple weeks from the Super Bowl now, if the team gets there, is the door still slightly open?
Hey man, anything is possible. I just know right now, man, I'm just grinding. I'm working one game at a time. I'm like, come on, y'all, let's get to this one. Let's get through this one. Let's make sure that we work to make sure that we don't have no hiccups because we do have a great position that we're in, great team. Man, we just got to make sure that we don't go out there searching for plays. Yeah. Let them plays come to you, and let's do it together.
Brandon, after last year, and it was such a disaster at the end, and the defense was just horrendous at the end, and no offense meant, but I mean, statistically, you guys were a fiasco at the end of the season. To be the number one ranked defense this year, and you had a big part of that, obviously, for the 2/3 of the year you played. For the defense to be number one, what did that mean for the guys like yourself and others that were here last year, went through the criticism, to be number one this year? What did it mean to you guys?
It means a lot. But we're not done with nothing yet. We haven't finished the job, but I know that for us coming into this year, we know we got the right guys. And when you see the rankings and we hear what goes on as far as when we rank this is what we're allowing and all this stuff, we just got to stay doing what we're doing. We can't get full of what everybody's been talking about because we grinded all year. It didn't go so well in the beginning, but then we started tackling. We started making sure that we got turnovers and everything's starting to come together. We just got to make sure we just keep that foot on the gas and make sure that we don't fill ourselves with what everybody's talking right now.
Brandon, how strange is it that you've got 3 rookies on this defense who are playing critical roles? I mean, you got a disruptor defensive tackle. You've got your nickel cornerback, the guy who does it all, and you got your lockdown cornerback. All rookies. How strange a dynamic is that? You've been in this league for a long time. Have you ever seen anything like it? And is everyone aware how weird this is? That these young kids can do this?
Well, it's usually you getting vets that come in and you say, man, we got lucky. We picked this guy up. But, man, to get them in the draft, and on top of that, the good dudes at that, too, that work. And, man, this is something that I've never been a part of, never seen, but I'm enjoying it because I see these guys every day. They got good vets to look up to like Slay. You got the safeties with CD and Reed. Man, I'm telling you, they got some good people to look up to, and they learn it, and Reed and all them learning from them too. Because man, I've never seen nothing like it. But it's a credit to Howie and just the Eagles organization of just getting better, and getting the teams better every year. And man, Zach Bond, I could tell you right there,
sure.
That was the best one of all that came because man, he just got this attitude about him, and it's just infectious. And I really appreciate him being around because man, when we was out there together, it was just fun, and
awesome.
It's still fun.
That's
a great point. The Zach Bond thing, I didn't even mention him because he's not a rookie, but he really is like a rookie in that he's never played this role. He was a special teams guy, just sort of hanging on.
Yep.
And it really is a modern day success story. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, I mean, I'll say from
versatility.
From my standpoint as a Philadelphia sports fan, and James and Rhea, tell me what you think here. I mean, the out of nowhere veteran sort of guy. Patrick Robinson a little bit.
Turn that whole game around.
The game,
well,
though. But we're talking about
season,
a defensive player of the year candidate.
But Brandon, Patrick Robinson wasn't this good. But I mean, Brandon, Patrick Robinson was very good.
Super important.
Because Ronald Darby got hurt that year.
Of course, no, it mattered. Yeah. And to Rhea's point, that interception changed the flow of that game. But we're talking about a guy coming in and being one of the best players in football this year.
I mean, guys, I never heard of him. I mean, John, I don't
He's
John,
in
I don't
the
think
running.
any
No one did.
fan has.
No one did. He wasn't doing this. He was a different position, and he was second or third string to where he was doing everything he could on special teams just to stay on a team.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no example in Philadelphia sports of someone who has been a veteran that no one's heard of that has been this dominant. I mean, I never heard of Jim Eisenreich, and he was really good, but he wasn't like an MVP in '93. So, I don't know, man. This is unique. All right, let's get some calls in. BG with us here in studio. Reminder, Nick Sirianni, 8:40 today. So 8:40 for the Eagles head coach as he prepares and they prepare for the Green Bay Packers coming up in 5 days. Let's get to Mike right now. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, gang. How are you doing this morning?
Excited.
Super.
Morning.
Very excited.
Love it. First of all, I love to hear all the New Year's resolutions about health, getting back out there. Richie going to find his former self. He's going to grow his hair long. He's going to be bleeding from the forehead. We're going to get the old Richie back.
I'm a lot slighter than I was. The old Richie was a little huskier.
I know. So, man, listen. Are we being disrespected? Yeah, we're being disrespected. I mean, I look at it. When I look at the percentages, you mean to tell me Detroit's got a 3 times more chance of reaching the Super Bowl than us?
It's a joke.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
But you know what? But it tells me is that they're saying all roads are going to have to go through Detroit. Fine. But you know what? Detroit hasn't met the bully yet. Detroit's been the bully, but they haven't met the bully. The bully is us. this playoff run, they don't know what's coming. They may think they know what's coming. They don't know what's coming. We got bullies on every single level of both sides of the ball, and we're rested, and we're a little angry. And hopefully I just a little bit, BG, maybe you could tell me this. Is maybe a little bit of anger, like it's built up inside because they didn't go for the record? Like all these little components, we're going to roll. I can't wait. We're going to roll.
Well, we'll say. I hope so. Mike, give me an answer. Who or what is one of a kind?
There's only one Flavor Flav.
You know, Flavor Flav's pretty good answer right there. I mean, there's no one else quite like him. There's no question about that. So, Brandon, I got the impression that the team did a really good job processing what I sense was disappointment that Saquon didn't get the chance to break it. I mean, there were a number of players that spoke out that said they wanted to. It sure as heck seemed like Saquon wanted to, and he talked a lot about his family wanted to. But I don't sense that it's an inhibitor. It seems to me like there's respect for Nick, that the guys understood and said, yeah, kind of a bummer, but way bigger things ahead. Is that a fair summation?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel like you got to switch your mindset because now we're in a position to go and really have great, do some great stuff.
Sure.
And, man, we got to make sure that we flush it because we don't want nothing to linger from the postseason. Because the regular season, it don't matter. It's about the postseason right now. And I believe the guys, once they knew what it was, they moved on, was getting ready to see who was playing. And I know even tomorrow, but I feel like tomorrow everybody's just gonna be talking about Packers and how we in a great position. Let's not mess this one up.
Yeah.
Are the leaders aware that is such a dicey situation? I mean, a dicey situation. The Saquon thing could have been divisive.
Well, it could have been, but I don't sense it was.
The defense, like how much less did the defensive guys value that record than the offensive guys? Like it would have gotten like some guys belly aching, I'm sure. Like, why do I have to get out there and play just to get his record on the other side of the ball? That was avoided by the non-playing. Were the guys talking about in the locker room how difficult that decision was for Nick or Howie or the group, however that decision was made?
You know what you just said right there, it really, like everybody always talk about, is Nick the guy, is Nick this? If Nick wasn't the guy, they would have had attitude with Nick, and they would have been mad, and they probably would have said something in the media about, man, we supposed to go do this, but they see how selfless Nick is as a coach, and you just want to make sure that you plan for him the same way. It's like, all right, y'all, I did let you get 2K because they stayed in the game for the Dallas, and we was already up so much, but they wanted them to get 2K yards, and I think that those little things like that could definitely deter a team or make them get selfish and be like, man, we wanted to get that. We wanted to do this. And it's like, well, what's the bigger goal? And that's what we always been talking about, the bigger goal, getting there. This is just one step towards that bigger goal. And right now, we in a position where it's win or go home. So let's make sure we prepare and get ready so that we can make sure we be the winners on Sunday, doing it together.
Brandon Graham in studio with us. Again, reminder, coming up in 4 minutes, your chance to hear a name that with that name can win you tickets to the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers on Friday. You got to be listening for the name of the current or former Eagles player or coach that we say coming up in 4 minutes.
And, of course, that's courtesy of NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy.
All right, let's talk to, this guy's got a good name, T. Eagle in Northeast Philadelphia. Good morning, T. Eagle.
What's up, guys? I just called in to give everybody. I want to give everybody their flowers, man. That's all. BG, man. You a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago, you recorded a message on my son's phone. On my phone for my son. He loved that, man. I appreciate you for that, and I feel like you're part of the family now. I love you, man.
Man, appreciate you.
Richie, I've been watching you for years, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you do, man. I appreciate the knowledge you bring to the station.
Thanks,
Rhea, everything you do, man. Seltzer, you my guy. I talk to you all the time, even though I may not get through. I respect it.
Oh, his phone cut out right.
Oh, that was so perfect. Can we just end it there?
Brandon, I was about to get a compliment, right? His phone cut out.
It's coming.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right, T. Eagle.
That's the best timing of anything that's ever happened.
I think your phone's back. Proceed.
Yeah.
Joe, I just wanted to say, man, you know, I love how you bring wisdom to the station. You bring some.
That's
some,
what
some
that
sort
is.
Of like some sort of
wisdom,
funniness. You keep the show lively, man, and you know I love you for that also. And I just want to give you flowers, man.
Thank you.
Going, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
And my one of a kind.
Yeah, one of a kind. What do you got?
It's amazing how our nations can't agree on nothing, but one thing we can agree on is to keep everybody from going to Antarctica. I think Antarctica is one of a kind.
Here's my only argument against Antarctica as one of a kind, because we're giving away the tickets to the Philadelphia Auto Show today, and we're looking for what's one of a kind on the anniversary of the Globetrotters debuting 98 years ago. Isn't the North Pole kind of like Antarctica? Kinda.
And there are other continents.
There are other continents. But this concept of like it's uber cold, you know, you're at the pole.
The North Pole is not a continent.
No, I know, and it's not technically land, but it's a lot of ice.
But it is like the same thing. There are poles. Yeah. It feels very similar. You only have penguins at one, though.
Yeah, I think Antarctica doesn't work.
Penguins are only at the South Pole?
I don't know. Penguin knowledge, man.
I'm not
I've seen South African penguins.
Yeah, so I think penguins are only south.
If you guys say. All right, it's time because we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets on Friday. Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. By the way, it's 94 WIP HD1 Philadelphia as we broadcast today from the Tasty Cake Studio. Strong reminder to you. Listen, today, right now, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday at 8 o'clock, because you will hear a name of a current or former player or coach, and with that name, you can win the tickets on Friday. Let's crank up a name.
And the name is...
The name's going to be given to us by Brandon Graham. BG.
Ooh, I like this.
Give us the name of one of your Super Bowl teammates from 2017. Who should we bestow the honor of being a significant contributor, and a name we'll throw out to the Delaware Valley right now? Who's top of mind?
Ooh. Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Make some noise, come on.
There it is.
That was the big one right there. That could have changed for sure.
History could have been very, very different.
Yes.
That was the correct answer.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the big one.
Well, either name yourself or Nick. Those are the two. So.
All right, so know the name Nick Foles, Friday at 8 o'clock with that name. Although BG's not eligible because he's already got tickets, otherwise known as a sideline pass, to be at the game. Know the name Nick Foles, and with that name, you can win the tickets Friday
clarification.
at 8 o'clock. Yeah,
awesome name. Penguins don't live at the North Pole. They are only South Pole. Penguins. And think about it, too. How would they get to the North Pole? How would a penguin... I mean, I guess there's no way you can make that swim.
Santa's sleigh picks them up.
They can't fly.
They got to take a flight.
I guess
somebody got to take care of them on a flight.
So BG, you were up at ESPN this weekend. So congrats on that.
I appreciate
sort of spot for you. I know you may or may not retire after this year. What was it like to do the ESPN Countdown pregame show?
It was cool. It was different from what we do on here. It was more some stuff was recorded, and it was kind of cool to see the ins and outs of that show.
You look great in that suit, by the way.
I appreciate you. You know, I ain't gonna take all the credit. My wife helped me with that. Yeah. And so I had a good time, enjoyed it, and man, it was just a great experience on just something that I grew up watching. Sunday NFL Countdown. Never thought that you would get a chance to be on there. Then when you do get one, how do you? I mean, man, how I'm gonna do?
Yep.
Man, your heart beating a little fast.
So were you a little nervous?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially when you in unfamiliar territory. Like now, I'm more comfortable with us doing this. But boy, when it first started, being on radio, I felt like I never took a pause, and I almost passed out the first time I did it. Yeah, it was like Doug Peterson's first team meeting, and I mean he almost passed out. So I knew exactly what that feeling was, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Have you ever worn that much makeup?
Oh well, you know what? That's a different thing. I didn't really have too much. She kept giving me compliments on my skin and stuff like that. But so it was cool.
Really? You didn't even need it. Look at that.
He doesn't need makeup because he has gorgeous skin.
Well, that's what the lady was telling me when I was doing it. But I do understand I still got some makeup. Yeah,
for sure.
Yep.
But gorgeous skin nonetheless.
There you
And
go.
she's a skin professional, so that she definitely knows what she's talking about.
Nah, it was cool. It was cool to see. But yeah, the whole
Good for you, bud.
process, the whole process was cool.
That's great, man. BG in studio with us. Of course, the Eagles and the Packers coming up on Sunday. Nick Sirianni with us in about 40 minutes at 8:40, 215-592-9494. So we started the show today with, I had mentioned that I am really, frankly, stunned at what I believe is a level of disrespect nationally that the Eagles are getting right now. And, this isn't a 2017 scenario, and that was somewhat understandable because Carson had gotten hurt and Foles didn't play well at the end of the year. I mean, being an underdog twice at home was odd. But again, Foles, it was, you didn't know until you knew. At least a lot of people didn't. But this one surprises me. Three facts that have struck me in the last 2 weeks that have really, 2 days, that have hit me that I believe speak to some disrespect for the Eagles nationally. Number one, started as a 3.5-point favorite. A little low. Seltzer, a little low, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it's going up.
The protocol.
Well, I think the fact that it's moved to 5 already, or 5, fluctuating between 5 and 5.5, tells you it was too low.
And I have respect for Green Bay. I want to be clear. I think they're a very good team. They're clearly a tremendous franchise. They're frequently, it's like the Eagles and Pittsburgh. There's some teams that are just
They're one of those teams.
They're one of those teams, always in the playoffs. Good for them. But the Eagles are 12-1 in their last 13 games. Eagles have home field advantage. They beat Green Bay. They're rested.
They beat Green Bay.
And by the way, Green Bay's quarterback has an injury thing too coming in.
Yes,
we have no idea what's going on with the hand and all that.
Yeah, and think about that. That ulnar nerve controls your grip. That's your grip strength. He says he can't feel his pinky, the ulnar nerve that, when you bang
Sunday.
that, it's your ring finger and pinky. Ooh. That is your grip.
Yeah.
So cold grip, it does matter.
Yeah, I was surprised. Now, the line's going up, but I thought that was one sign of disrespect for the Eagles starting as only a 3.5-point favorite. The second was ESPN's got a big article out yesterday with each team and their percentage chance to reach the Super Bowl. Not win it, but reach it. And the Eagles from the NFC were given only a 15% chance, technically a lower, 14.6, to reach the Super Bowl. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. 14.6 chance to reach the Super Bowl. That to me, that's nonsense.
When you look at it, I think that's low.
Low.
And I do, when you compare that to the Lions having in the same article a 40-something% chance, that's skewed. But when you look at the paths that we have to take,
it's a tough path.
Our path through this wild card this year, with the NFC really feeling as sturdy as it's ever been. This path against a good Packers team that does have injury issues now and declining play of its young quarterback that I think really set us up for success. But then after that, we'll probably play the Vikings and then the Lions.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's murderer's row just right there.
I'm not saying it's easy.
To the Chiefs or Bills.
I'm not saying it's easy, but I've seen this Eagles team. We all have. And I do not believe they should have as low as a 15% chance to reach Super Bowl. I think it's ridiculous.
It's a little low, but I think those who know football across the nation understand that we are a dominant football team. They respect our chances. Everyone's looking at this NFC Championship game. Everyone expects it to be the Lions and the Eagles in Detroit.
Look, here's the third thing that bugged me. And again, I want to be clear. This sort of bugs me, but I'm also energized by it because I think the team can use this stuff. Somehow the Eagles have the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl behind Baltimore? I mean, guys, the Eagles beat Baltimore a month ago. Beat them. Yeah. Beat them in Baltimore. And now Baltimore has a better chance. So anyway, I don't like that. Brandon, the concept of using fuel for the fire, how real was that in 2017? When you and this is not the same thing. You're not a home underdog. I want to be clear. Mm-hmm. It's not apples for apples. But when you have an opportunity to, Jordan, that was one of Jordan's thing. Michael Jordan would almost go out of his way to.
He manufactured.
Yeah, he wanted,
and I took that personally. Yeah, it became a meme. It was,
Yeah, he wanted to find something that he felt he was being held back and held down, and use that as motivation. When you guys went through the 2017 playoff journey, how real was utilizing being an underdog in that process?
Well, I was just gonna tell you, like, man, this is something we used to. 2017 just reminded me of that. Even when we won, it was just talking about Brady the whole offseason instead of talking about the Eagles and them winning. It's nothing new. I mean, I'm not surprised by it at all. It's just you got to go earn it. You got to go earn it. And when you go hold that trophy up, it don't matter what people saying or not saying. They can talk about the losing team all off season. It don't matter. But it's more about us going out there to prove it and earn it. And so, hey, it's nothing new to me. I love it. I love that people sleeping or whatever it is. They got all these numbers that they don't have this chance. But we gotta go. We gotta go prove that. And so, man, if anything, I know our team's going to respond to all the stuff that people throw at us. And so, man, I'm excited.
So here's my theory, Brandon, because we've also been talking today, and everyone can weigh in at 215-592-9494. Do you agree or disagree that there's national disrespect for the Eagles when you hear those facts? And then if so, why do you think it is? So I've got two main whys, Brandon. Number one, I think the nation, again, I'm viewing this nationally, I think they literally don't know about Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Zach Bond. I mean, the fact that Jalen Carter is not going to finish in the top 10 of Defensive Player of the Year, that is a joke. It's a joke because the guy's a game wrecker. So that's a joke. And the other one to me, and this might be the biggest, I think nationally people just don't get the Sirianni thing, don't kind of like him, don't respect him. And I think it's a shame. I think he's a great football coach, man.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people in the nation that think he's just going to screw this up. That's not the way I see it, man.
Nah, Nick knows he got to go prove it just as much as we got to go prove it as players. So we all out there doing it together. Man, I like our chances.
All right, listen, Brandon, good luck to your squad. I know you won't be playing in the game, but
I'll be right there. We'll be on that sideline, baby, rooting and, man, hopefully partying on that sideline, learning all the dances that people going to do, just so that you can just go out there and have fun, man. And that's all we really want. Just go out there and have fun. It's a regular game. It's, all the marbles on the floor right now, but it ain't nothing that we ain't used to. Let's just go play our game.
Good for you, man. Primo Hoagies, our sponsor, of course, of BG in studio every Tuesday at this time. Brandon, we look forward to talking to you next week. Not wrapping up a season.
Yes, sir.
But previewing a divisional round playoff game with 3 to go to win it all. Brandon, stay well, buddy. Good luck in the continued rehab, man.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
All right, there he is. BG, 215-592-9494.